So Ajit Kumar, I'm just going to read out some of the figures of the voter turnouts in the last 6 phases. Very interesting. First phase 81%, second phase 76%, third phase 77%, fourth phase 80%. There is no phase which has recorded less than 76% on an average. That's much higher than a national average. What do you attribute this very high voter turnout to? Is it a pro-incumbency vote? Is it an anti-incumbency vote?
Okay, first of all, let me point out, Sandeep, that Bengal and Kerala have always had the highest electoral turnout compared to the rest of the country.
They're more politically aware states.
More politically aware, and education is very high in both the states compared to all other states in the country. And usually turnout is a product of literacy, literacy expansion, educational expansion. These are all also more urban areas, right? And surprisingly, the urban areas also have very high turnout in Bengal, in West Bengal, like in Kerala. So that's a given. But this time you find the fact that there has been generally a low turnout in the rest of the country, given the heat wave or given the indifference of the voters. First two phases we saw, votings really down 60%, 57% in Bihar and UP, 46%. Compared to that, in neighboring West Bengal, 80%. Main reason is the clash between the two parties, Sandesh Khali. That, I think, once elections are competitive, they result in massive turnout. What is unique to West Bengal in many ways, you can compare it maybe to Odisha, but unique to Bengal, is there is a clash of not only two dominant personality here, as you pointed out in the beginning, Modi ji and Mamata Banerjee, but also two dominant parties. One is a regional party, TMC, but it's a dominant party. It sort of almost runs like the one-party government, crushing the opposition. Similarly, the BJP, the opposition is very weak in India, right? So the BJP is also a dominant party. When two dominant parties directly clash, always results in very high turnout.
Absolutely. Very interesting that two dominant parties, they're the BJP, the National Party, entering West Bengal, which is the domain of the Trinamool Congress. But Brijesh, what are the factors working against Mamata Banerjee in West Bengal?
I think, one of the big factors which is working against her is anti-incumbency. Second is the issues of corruption. Third is Sandesh Khali. The BJP has been able to build a very solid narrative that, that those women have been subjected to the kind of horrors. VSC scams, SSC scams and a couple of others. And also the fact that ED has been very hot on her tail. So that is ED I have been saying for a long time now that ED is going to be one of the biggest unifier of the India alliance, because if you look at any of the top brass of this, either their nephew or their son or they themselves are in the dragnet of the ED. So I think you as Ajit ji very aptly said, one of the reason why there's a high percentage is also that if you take UP, there is no friction point. There's no friction point which is generating a karo or maro kind of a situation for the other political party. In West Bengal it is. What happened when Shah Jahan, ED team went to arrest Shah Jahan or investigate them. Their ED team was assaulted. There's a lot of back and forth. People are being beaten up. So there's a lot of friction which is there.
There's a lot of friction, Brijesh, but interestingly, this is possibly one of the most peaceful elections in West Bengal. 6 phases of the election and no violence. Otherwise, West Bengal is known for bomb factories, high death tolls and all. What happened this time around? It's a very good thing.
I feel the reason is that in 2021, the BJP did not do as well as expected in the assembly election, and they learned a lesson that if you go very aggressive against a locally dominant party which uses both Sam, Dam, Dand, Bhed like the BJP, then that might backfire. So this time, if you see, the rhetoric is not so strongly anti-Muslim. During the Eid ceremony, you saw important BJP leaders in the state going and wearing the skull cap and joining the Muslims in their Eid ceremony. So they have gone really soft this time. And they don't want to bring this too much violence, because that can, and remember, the administration technically is under Trinamool, although in this period Election Commission handles it, but all the officers are basically close to Mamata, So therefore they want to play it safe. They don't want to also bring it into the headlines, which might cause, investigation or things of that sort. And sometimes violence ends up helping Trinamool. So BJP realized that, and their rhetoric is really, compared to the previous elections, much softer. And I think one of the biggest mistake that Mamata made, her advisors probably gave her that angle, and maybe there is Adhir Ranjan Chaudhary factor, that she did not go for an alliance with the Congress as well as the left. In fact, left, of course, is a more ideal case scenario, but at least with the Congress, if she had, I think the results in 2024, the BJP would not have beaten Trinamool, because if you add up the vote basis, even though it's much less of the Congress, but if you add up, you get an additional boost. But the fact that she did not, CPM and the Congress has combined, and they have been able to get back some of their supporters, which were anti-Trinamool.
Absolutely.
So what ends up happening is BJP gets the advantage. Whenever there is a fight between the third player and the first player, player number 2 gets the advantage.
Tri-cornered contest here. But Brijesh, are you giving any serious numbers to the Congress and the CPI, CPM and the Forward Bloc? They've all combined together. They're the third front in this election.
Well, I think, they are destined to play the role of margins as far as West Bengal election is concerned. One seat may go either which way, but barring that, I think, 41 seats is going to be distributed between Mamata Banerjee and Bharatiya Janata Party.
And you're giving just one seat to the Congress?
I don't see any other candidate, other than Adhir Ranjan Chaudhary having that kind of, muscle power and also organizational structure which is set in place. And that is the reason why, he was very vocal against Mamata Banerjee. In fact, if you remember, Derek O'Brien, when he was asked that, why didn't Trinamool Congress went along with the Congress party, he said there are 3 reasons for it. Adhir Ranjan Chaudhary, Adhir Ranjan Chaudhary and Adhir Ranjan Chaudhary.
And Adhir Ranjan Chaudhary. But here's the question, Brijesh, why did Mamata not ally with the Congress in West Bengal? Did she want to maximize her gains there? Not even give them
she did. And she's also looking at a post-election scenario. Now what will happen is that, suppose, hypothetically, if India Alliance gets a situation or get into a situation where their numbers stacked up together it reaches 272. Mamata Banerjee comes from a state which offers the 3rd highest number of member of parliaments to the country.
Of course.
And the fact of the matter is that in Uttar Pradesh, Congress is a deadwood. In Maharashtra, Congress is one of the 3 parties and almost the lowest one. So she gets to become, either the number 1 or the number 2 party with maximum number of member of parliaments when it comes to any such scenario post-election. And that is the reason why, she wants to maximize her, position, and she wants to strengthen her position so that she can be a big player post when the results, post 4th June.